Query rules enable you to cover these search relevance blind spots by allowing you to create if this then that style rules that are tailored for your business use case. For example, you can promote an item, you can modify the search query, you can show dynamic facets, you can add a filter to a query. There's about 10 different things you can do using query rules. They are incredibly powerful. So let's take a look at the anatomy of a query rule by going to the editor interface. A query rule is divided into two parts. The first part is the trigger condition. The trigger condition lets you choose between a variety of conditions like what is the index or indices to apply this rule to. The default is it applies it to all the indices. You can also select a query, and the query also comes with multiple combinations where you can specify an exact match, a partial match, a prefix or a suffix match. You can also apply a filter. The filters come from your schema. So you can apply any particular filter, and this allows you to create filter specific conditions. There's also an advanced editor which lets you combine queries and filter in a variety of combinations using and or clauses. The last condition is the time frame. Time frame is ideal to create seasonal promotions of products if you have that use case. The other option, if you don't want to set a condition, is to always trigger, which is a universal condition which would always trigger the action. As far as the actions go, you can either promote a result, hide a result, modify the search query, return custom data. So we'll try to look at some of these actions in this video. We have built this application over here which has the query rules baked in. So our first rule is we are promoting a result. As you can read here, it applies only to this Best Buy dataset index, and it applies when the query contains the term movie. So let's go and make this particular search. We'll search for just the word movie, and we can see that the query rule gets triggered. It gives us a result for movie music. And we can see that, in fact, this is the promoted item, and we have marked the promoted item different from the organic items for movie. So let's take a look at one of the other rules. This is a rule where we are setting dynamic facets, and the way this rule works, we can go to the editor interface to look at it better. Whenever there is a filter on category path.name field where the value is set to music, it returns this custom data, which then gets rendered as a new facet into the UI. So we'll go and do that. So we'll go to this filter here, and this filter is actually for the field category path.name. And when we set music, it should create this dynamic facet that we can see for customer review. And it does this by looking at this custom data that is returned by the query rule. We can verify that this is only applicable to music by going to another filter's value, and we can see that now that facet has disappeared. So this allows us to create an Amazon-like facet interface where, depending on the category the end user is browsing, they would see only the relevant facets. So this is an incredibly powerful feature for your search experience. Okay, so the next rule we'll take a look at is what we have called here the iPhone rule. In here, we can see that the Samsung product is the first promoted item, and we can see that there are some other items which have the word iPhone in it, but we would have liked maybe to see the latest iPhone here instead of all of these results. So we'll go back to this rule and we'll tweak it further. So we'll go and use the replace search term action. And what we'll do is whenever the search contains iPhone, we will change the search term to instead search for iPhone 11, and at the same time keep promoting the Samsung product. Okay, so let's see what happens now. We search for iPhone, and we can see that the Samsung rule is applied, but now the next set of results are more relevant. We are actually seeing iPhone 11 results, which we want to see. So query rules can be combined with analytics to read for situations where popular queries are being made to promote an alternative set of products or to promote products that have the highest conversion. They can also be used with no result searches, where instead of the user seeing the dreaded no result screen, they would now see specific results that the e-commerce store would want to show them. So this is query rules in a nutshell. There's a lot more to explore, so check out the link in the description, which lets you go through the docs to see how query rules work in more depth.